Chase, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm, broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County, 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro, and the lovely and a wee bit chilly hills of southern middle Tennessee. It's a bright sunny day, though, folks. It's that time of the month where we have David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management Homeland Security Director, to come in and talk about public safety issues going on here in Bedford County. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's good to have you. I think your timing's fantastic, especially with the weather moving in this weekend.
All right.
But hope you had good holidays, and everybody had a safe time over the holidays. At least here locally, we know they didn't in New Orleans, unfortunately.
That's correct.
But and that could happen.
Prayers go out to them.
Absolutely, prayers go out to them, and that could, quite frankly, happen anywhere in the country, to tell you the truth. So, anyhow, one of the things that you and I were talking about before the show, David, was kind of maybe recapping a little bit. Of course, the Bedford County Emergency Management Agency is a county, state chartered, but a county agency, and of course you work for the county mayor, Chad Graham.
That's correct.
Just kind of do a little recap maybe for our listening audience, what you guys do.
Wow. So
now we're limited to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I know it's very broad. So
it is. We do several things, and a lot of people don't realize how much we are involved in what's going on. But we have about 15 to 18 programs, and when I say programs, that are activities or things that we're responsible or we help with. We've talked about some of those on here.
Yeah,
we work with our school system.
That's a huge program, right?
That is. It's probably
school
one of our
safety,
biggest.
yeah.
Right, school safety, and actually we got a little exercise coming up Monday, if the weather permits. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so we do that. We have a drone program. We have search dog Bruno that we use for searching for individuals that go lost.
And Bruno is a bloodhound.
That's correct.
It don't get any better than a bloodhound.
He's cool.
I mean, those rascals, it's fun to watch them track.
You're right.
But, and obviously I know you guys use them for tracking, especially with lost children, Alzheimer patients, things like that.
That's correct. And we're actually we're awarded a grant to bring the lost home, and it's surrounded about that. So look forward in the new year.
Yeah, I saw that grant coming through. That's fantastic.
Right, and so that'll help us too, and help our ability to find these folks a little bit quicker.
And he was donated by a private citizen.
That's correct. That's correct.
We appreciate that anonymous person doing that.
Right, and we're also part of what we call the Tri-Team search. Is Moore County is involved in that, and also Franklin County. So that's a big thing. We're involved in hazmat here. We oversee that program.
What a hazmat is?
That's anything that's hazardous that happens in
hazardous materials.
Right. So that could be businesses, industry. That could be rail. That could be transportation.
Truckers. And we have all three here.
We do.
Yeah. Big rail line coming through every day.
Right.
A couple of plants.
And several state highways that go right through the middle of Shelbyville.
A lot of tanker truck traffic.
Correct.
So obviously got to be prepared for that.
Right. And so that's one of our programs. And then we do various other things. We oversee grants, our hazardous mitigation, which is deals with our floods or disasters or things like that. We're required by the state to keep a plan up. It's every 4 or 5 years, and so that's one of the things that we do. And we assist other agencies with hazardous. Mitigation with projects that could help them out and work through that in the paperwork. If we do have a disaster, we work with the electric companies, the water, anybody that has can file a claim through FEMA. We help them also. Of course, we do all kinds of special events.
That's a biggie. That just gets bigger every year, doesn't it?
It does. We grow every year. We just came out.
You guys got the Christmas event this year, which is huge.
And it was a good event, big event, and
a safe event.
I foresee that coming again, probably.
I think plan for that next year.
Yep. Okay. So we planned for it too. We did an after action for that event to see what we could do better or what we did. We feel like we did really good. So, and that's one of the things that it takes to work with all these agencies. We work with all the law enforcement, all the fire, EMS, local partners. So yeah, we're pretty busy. That just kind of, I'm sure I left out a lot, but it's.
Well, you guys are facilitators, right? I mean, you facilitate bringing that all together, the different agencies.
Right. And, so we stay busy. Every day is different.
So you don't get bored.
No,
Roger that.
Always got. If you saw my desk right now, you would see the stacks of different things that we work on as we get time to.
One of the things, David, you mentioned briefly, and we'll move on to things you want to talk, other things. But you mentioned the FEMA and the flood maps, and I know those are redone every 4 or 5 years. Folks, if you got property, if you saw what happened in East Tennessee,
correct,
and the tragedy over there, especially with all the flash flooding, mostly is what that was. But what they call that, 1,000-year flood, I think, versus a 500.
Right.
And what that means, folks, is it doesn't mean that every 500 years. I mean 1 in 500 chance of that happening. So the odds are pretty good. It's not, but. You really, as a homeowner, you really need to look at the FEMA flood maps.
That's correct.
At least every couple of years to see if your property has been changed, because it does change the flow of the river and the flooding.
Right.
And see if you really need to get flood insurance, because I think the maximum right now FEMA pays if you don't have flood insurance is like 40-something thousand.
I think
per person for individual assistance. So if you got a $300,000 home.
Yeah,
and it's destroyed. You don't have flood insurance.
$40,000 don't go too far for that.
It doesn't really go very far. That's right. So, folks, I mean, I know it's probably not going to happen, but you really ought to check it. And the reason I mention that is my son called me the other day. They changed the maps in his neighborhood. He lives in Virginia, and he was asking about it. And the way they changed it, I said, you absolutely need to have flood insurance.
Right. And they just to touch on that too, they just updated their maps.
Oh, so did they? Okay.
So you can go on the internet.
You can go online and see that.
You can.
Or somebody could call you guys. You could help them find it, I guess.
Right. And another thing interesting you brought that up is that's one of the things that they're going to start pushing this year is EMA working with our floodplain managers in your local areas and seeing where your areas are, how that's changed, what needs to be done about that.
And for here, that's the planning
office.
That's right. County planning office.
And
Chris White and his folks.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, yes, you need to do that.
Absolutely. You just have to, because it could be a catastrophic. It's obviously it's horrible and it's loss of life, but for most people it's loss of property.
That's correct.
When that happens.
That's
and
correct.
It just devastates. And of course, you were working in Nashville when the floods happened. Was it 2010?
It was, yeah.
Something like that. So many of those people didn't have insurance.
That's correct. And they thought they did, but
they didn't, right?
They did not. So a lot of those people, right, they were not able to stay or build back or anything. So they were left Nashville or left that area and had to start all over again.
And there's a National Flood Insurance Program out there.
That's correct.
NFIP, whatever it's called.
Right.
And so folks, you can get online, check that out. You can check it. And if you got any questions on that, I know David and his staff would be happy to help you work through. Because I know folks call every once in a while about, hey, well, this is where I'm at. What floodplain am I in, or whatever.
And we can direct you to if you have internet or can pull something up that you can actually look at the maps yourself. So.
Yep, and they'll get you a quote. But I got to tell you, folks, you really need to do that. And it really came home with watching that tragedy over in East Tennessee.
That's correct.
So, well, anyhow, what else you got, David?
Well, you brought up flooding, and so last I checked, we were still in a drought. Now, wintertime, we don't get a lot of precipitation to change that, so we're going to have to see how that goes. But the big thing is this possible winter weather that's coming in. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that, and that it does not look right now, and I'll say it does not look like right now.
And when you mean, David, you mean right now, you mean like right now.
Right. So
because like 3 hours from now it might change, right?
It is Tennessee, right?
It is, right. Yeah, especially middle Tennessee.
Right. So, but it looks like the northern Tennessee and Kentucky line are better chance of seeing any type of
Upper Cumberland and all that.
That's right. Yeah. It strictly depends on the timing of it, but the chance of it dropping, of course, everything changes and could change, is very possible.
So you're looking at potential snow or flurries? Starting
with freezing rain and then
north of us mostly, right?
Right, correct. Yeah. It's going to warm up across the area also. So with that being said, if we get rain, it's possible we could get up to an inch to an inch and a half is what the Weather Service put out this morning at 6 o'clock. That was our latest update on that. We won't get another one till later.
If anything, hitting those creeks and stuff. Yeah.
Right. If anything changes, of course, we try to post on our Facebook page what's going on or what's happening. But I will say that if we do get rain or anything that could be on the roads that comes Sunday, could refreeze Sunday night into Monday. Now, I think Monday's school's out one more day, but there's I
think staff has to report for staff development day, but students don't.
Right, yeah. So hopefully that doesn't bother that. And saying that also is, if you've been driving around over the holidays, the traffic's been a little bit not as heavy. School does start back Tuesday, so that traffic is going to pick up again. So please watch the buses. I always say that first of the year, but please watch the buses and things like that.
Folks, we're talking to David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management Homeland Security Director, about various public safety issues here in Bedford County. We're going to take a 60-second break and be right back.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farms, broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County. It's that time of the month we're talking to David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management Homeland Security Director. David, we went to the break. You're talking about the inbound weather that's coming in, looks like Sunday.
Right.
Potential impacts, and I guess how you should be able to prepare, right?
And that's right. We talked about the possibility of a wintry mix coming in here, but I will say this is for sure, we'll say.
For sure,
we're going to have some extremely cold weather move in.
That's like a guarantee.
Right.
The precipitation may not be.
The next week is going to be severely cold. So I was going to talk about, we've talked about it before, but we've talked about, of course, when we have cold weather that moves in, our fire chances go up, and that's for various reasons. And I think last month we had the county fire chief Mark Thomas and assistant chief Brian Cantrell in here. We were talking about fires and things like that. I'm just going to touch on just a few of those. Please watch your space heaters. Don't cover the cords up. Don't overload circuits or the outlets for your home.
No extension cords or space heaters.
That's correct. All the things we talked about. Leaving things on the stove. We're kind of out of the holiday cooking time, but that also applies. Don't forget what you got going on. Yeah. But just be aware in how you use your space heaters and things like that. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was what we can do let's say something else happens. We've covered the fire issue. What if we have extreme cold weather and we have a water line or a water main break or pipes freeze in your house or things like that? So having a plan, think now, jot down who you may call if you had an issue with something at your home with frozen pipes. But also, if we have a line break, and we did last year, we had some lines that did break over. We had extended cold weather over a week.
The actual lines the utilities main lines. Okay,
yes,
so that affects a lot of homes then.
It does, and have a plan for that. If you're going to be out of water, maybe pick you up some bottled water to have until it can get fixed. But have a plan. Have a plan. Anytime we have wintry precipitation predicted, start your plan right there. Do I have enough medicines? What if it does snow? What do I need to take care of? And do things like that.
If you're on oxygen.
That's correct.
And you're using an oxygen machine, do you have bottled oxygen backup, right?
That's correct. So if electricity goes out, what are you going to do if you're dependent on that oxygen? Another thing, if electricity goes out and it says, that's all right, I can run my refrigerator, I can do what I want to because I have this generator here. There are awesome thing to have. Don't run it in your house.
Don't run it in your garage.
Right.
It seep into your house, right? We're talking about the exhaust fumes,
that's
for
correct.
lack of a better term.
Carbon monoxide.
Keep it away from your home.
Right. Carbon monoxide will build up, and it's killed several people.
It's a silent killer, yeah.
It is.
I mean, be careful, folks. We have the generators are great.
Yeah.
I've got one, but you got to keep it away from the house.
That's correct. So a lot of people don't realize that. One thing is, I know Atmos put out a little cold weather tip sheet.
The natural gas folks.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
for here in Bedford County. And I have not really thought about this, but I could see where it would happen is don't use your oven or your gas eyes
to heat the house.
That's correct.
I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought about that with the gas. It could build up in your home. Make sure your vents, dryer vents, if you have gas or other gas equipment, are free of and clear of debris or anything like that, so it doesn't stop up. And
wintertime's just a whole different ball game, isn't it?
It changes.
On safety, yeah.
It is. To save things on your house. Unplug your hose pipe from your faucet, and if you got those covers, put those on. That's a little help. It gets colder in the house. Use various things. Put a towel in the window if you've got a little draft in the window or whatever.
It makes a difference. If you got a vented crawl space, close those vents, right?
Under your house. That's correct.
Because that's where the pipes are.
I'm glad you said that.
If you have a crawl space, you need to close over because you get that draft coming through to freeze your water pipes. Yes, I learned years ago the hard way on that one. Yeah, but mine are closed.
I'm gonna have to check mine.
Right
you got me wondering.
I saw that weather coming in. Yeah, they're closed.
But if something does happen, just listen to any reports that may be coming out. Of course, if you've not signed up for Code Red, that's the way we push out information during emergencies. If we had some type of large event where electricity went out, excuse me, or things like that, to be able to get some information out to people. And you can do that by going on BedfordCounty911.org, and you'll see Code Red. You just click on that and you fill out the information.
Takes like 5 minutes. It's easy to sign up and get those alerts.
Get you
great idea.
Text or phone calls, either one. So
absolutely.
But just and then, of course, if you have the wintry mix of weather, if we should get some of that, stay off the roads unless you have to get out. Public safety folks have a lot going on during times like this, and so with them getting around and trying to get around, just getting out to run. That's why I go back to having a plan. They call it bread and milk. Do the bread and milk thing.
If you got to get out, slow down.
Right. That's
just
correct.
And I got 4-wheel drive, but I mean, just because you got 4-wheel drive doesn't mean you can't run off the road.
Right.
If it gets
exactly
icy.
Right.
So
You're exactly
you just slow down, and it seems to work okay.
Right.
So slow down, folks. Don't go the speed limit or faster because you got 4-wheel drive.
And another thing also is big, especially across the county, is check on your neighbors.
Yeah, that's a biggie. Yeah.
If you have some elderly folks that live close to you, just check on your neighbors and make sure they're doing good, or if they need something or whatever. So that's just a few things. I know, kind of, you would think common sense things, but having a plan ahead before, it's a lot easier to think about what you might need.
The water pipes are frozen. I got 2 cases of bottled water. I'm going to be okay.
Right.
And I'm going to be able to give Fido some water, too.
Right. And like I said, just jot down, you may have somebody that you would call if you had a plumbing issue or whatever, and then write their number down and put it over on the table or something. That way you're not trying to look for it or whatever. Just you'll be prepared for that. So
there's another issue, speaking of Fido, is domestic pets, like
Correct.
cats and dogs, domestic type pets. I'm not talking about cattle here, but domestic pets, on making sure that they have proper shelter and warmth during this when it gets down into the teens. That's a huge difference from in the 30s.
It is, very much so. And of course, I think that we had Josie in from Animal Control, and she was talking about they changed some of the laws for outside pets and what you're required to for shelter. So if you have a question on that, you can maybe give them a call.
Call Bedford County Animal Control.
Or
they're in the phone book or online. Yeah. Nobody has a phone book anymore, do they, David?
I don't think they have. They did away with those.
I just dated myself. Check them in the phone book. Yeah, go online, folks, or get on your phone and look.
But yeah, if you having issues or having kind of problems, please call, and whoever it may pertain to that you need help, and try to get you some.
It's a great point on checking on your neighbors, especially your elderly neighbors that may be alone or just a couple there, checking on them. I know that's been an issue in past ice storms and things like that, making sure folks are checking on people to make sure they're okay. And because some folks may just have a landline and it's down and whatever. So, yeah, get out there and check on your neighbors, folks.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and a lot of times people will not say something, and if somebody does come by and ask, hey, are you good? Well, actually, we need some help with this. So, yes.
Absolutely. I know you guys have the ability to open warming shelters. I guess this shouldn't be that kind of event, I wouldn't think, coming in, should it?
No. What we...
It's usually in like February, right?
Yeah, our shelters is if we have a mass power outage or something like that, and we have to, and we work with our electric companies too, about how long power is going to be out and things like that. And if it's going to be a prolonged period of time, then we work with our Red Cross and some others to open the shelter, to have those people somewhere to go until the electricity is back on.
Yeah, because, folks, a lot of times, of course, there's flooding. Here we get some flash flooding usually. You get tornadoes that come through a specific area, but ice storms can affect like half the county or more when they come through. And I think, it's good to be prepared. I know most of them we've had in the past 20 years here or so have been in the February time frame when we have those ice storms. And what happens, folks, is, the power lines get knocked down because the trees fall on them. Right. This is a very forested county.
Right.
And especially in the kind of the eastern side, southern side, there's so many trees out there, and they get knocked down, and sometimes it's not safe enough for the utilities to go out there and put them back up, but the trees keep falling. So got to be prepared, got to have that water, got to have that warmth. And,
so that's a good point. Tornadoes affect an area across the county, but ice storms,
man,
it
don't like those ice storms.
No, it's
plus it affects travel too,
right? And damage wise and travel wise, and
trees fall across roads. road, ambulance can't get through. I mean,
that poses a bigger threat. Of course, we don't want either one.
No.
But
it's better to talk about it, be prepared for it.
That's correct.
Chances are it won't happen. But we get a decent ice storm every 2-3 years. So, anyhow, we got a saying in public safety, we don't talk about it, right? But the bottom line is, in your business, you're trying to get people to be prepared to mitigate or lessen the impact of what's going on. So, folks, you got to be prepared out there. You got to be, what do you say, roughly 2 to 3 days to be able to be on your own?
72 hours.
73 days to be on your own with plenty of water and warmth, right? Some food, hopefully, too. But,
and you brought that up, having some type of canned good or something like that. If you don't have
something that's non-perishable,
right? Yep. So yes, just have a plan. That's my.
That refrigerator might be able to keep it cold for a day or two without power, maybe. Right. A day anyway, I guess.
Right.
But have some dry goods that you can snack on.
Right, correct.
Take care
Peanut butter and crackers, things like that.
I think people, Dave, a lot of times think, well, we're in the 21st century. This isn't an issue. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is.
It is. You see natural disasters all the time across the country, right?
Correct.
Affecting hundreds to thousands of people. It will always be that way.
Right.
Because there's infrastructure involved, and the infrastructure can't be protected against everything, especially in these counties where we have so many trees and the power lines are above ground.
Right. Plus, it's taxing on our public safety folks. We just can't get to everyone right now. And
especially if all the counties around us are affected like we are, because normally they would come help us, right?
Right.
But they may be in the same boat we are.
That's exactly right. So, they say 72 hours. That way, you can surely get to people in 3 days. But that's why that is because you can't be everywhere all the time. So you have to work your way to. And
governments can't afford to have that many people on call all the time, but there is a search capability out there, and especially with like the volunteer fire departments and stuff like that do a really good job. But the bottom line is, folks, be prepared to be on your own for 72 hours.
That's correct.
And don't think the government's going to show up 2 hours after it starts. Right. Be prepared to be on your own out there. Make sure you got that water. Make sure you got something to stay warm. Got a little food to do it. And if we do get ice on these roads, folks, do not get out unless you absolutely have to. And if you do, go slowly.
Right.
David, we're about out of time. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think that's it.
Folks, be prepared. I think that's the watchword. David's letting you know. He always comes in before something happens and lets you know, to be prepared out there. And I know we all get so busy in our daily lives, right? Correct. We're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that. But a natural disaster or a big weather event can certainly impact all of us. And so, folks, be prepared. That's the watchword. Lessen the impact of that storm on yourself and your loved ones. And your domestic pets as well.
Correct.
Get it all taken care of. Folks, have been talking to David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management and Homeland Security Director. David, we appreciate you coming in. I know folks appreciate everything you and your staff do to make Bedford County a better and safer place to live and work. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. We have 11 government-related talk shows every month right here. Come listen in to the folks that are actually doing the work straight from the horse's mouth. This is Scott Johnson. Until next time.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care. Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
Where else can you sell your stuff, play trivia, and listen to pure classic country.
I don't know!
Yep, I thought so. 98.7 and AM 1580 WLIJ.